I don't have a backup plan, and I refuse to have a backup plan. But it never used to be like that. You see, when I was younger, I was wired in a way in which I had to have a backup plan. Or else, if I never had a backup plan, and if plan A failed, then I didn't have something to fall, obviously, back on. And that was something that my parents and the people that I surrounded myself installed me with. But I want to say, when I was around the age of 15, maybe I was 13, but I want to say around that type of age, I was watching other people on the internet, like most do, and I was listening to their stories, and I realised that me and them, there's not much very different. Yes, they're successful and I might not be yet. I mean, it depends on what we see as success, obviously. But I might not be at their level yet, but I realised that there's not much very different from me to them. Until I realised the truth about, obviously, the things that gets us to the places where we want to be. Hard work, obviously. Dedication, obviously. Obedience. Grit. Determination, all of those things. And I started to realise that I can achieve the things that I want to go after. If I have a goal and if I work very hard and try and think of ways, try and be smart about it, then I can succeed and do the things that I want to do. And it never used to be like that. But when I started to listen to these guys and when I started to really do what I feel like I learned, until I started to put these things into practice and actually go after, whether it was small goals, but put in 100%, then I started to realise that I can do those goals. I can take the first step and I can ultimately achieve the goal as well. It also made me realise that, well, if I just put 100% into this goal, then maybe I don't need a backup plan. And I realised that for myself, I realised that by having a backup plan, it doesn't allow me to go full throttle. It doesn't allow me to go 100%. It only allows me to go maybe 60 or 70%. It doesn't allow me to go that full 100%. So I don't know about you, but that's what I realised by having plan Bs. And especially being in the place that I'm in right now, where I've not really got much going for me, let's be honest, I really don't. If I was to write everything that I'm doing, I mean, I've said it in another video, but people would probably point at me and go, "You're stupid." But I believe in myself that much, and I believe in my ability to get far in life, that I know that I will be just fine. Some people might call it delusional, but I just call it me, really. I just call it the truth. Because at the same time, in my opinion, I feel like I do see the truth. And I don't really want to get into all that sort of stuff, but what it was for me is it was realising that if I just go full throttle onto a goal, whether it was a smaller goal or like I'm doing right now, achieving my big goals and dreams, then I don't have something to fall back on. And if I just give it 100%, and what it does is as well, for me that is it creates scarcity. It gives me a hit in the head, essentially. And lets me know, "Scott, you're not doing enough work. Scott, you're not putting enough effort. If you want to get to this point, you're going to have to do what the majority of people won't do. You're going to just have to do it." And that is the hardest part. But by not having a plan B, it taught me if I really wanted something bad enough, And it taught me that by going after the goal, trials and tribulations are going to come, but that I cannot let them get to me. And it is obviously easier said than done, a bit like everything I say on the channel. It's not easy to get through the trials and tribulations. And as I have been saying in my previous video, I think by continuing to go through the trials and tribulations, we will see for ourselves. We will learn a lot that we can use to just navigate through. It's as if we are creating our own map while going through the journey to finding something. It sounds so complex and so confusing and so challenging, but all of us are doing it. And I think the only thing that we can do is to navigate through those challenges. But it surprised me a lot as well, being on this journey of not having a backup plan. It's made me realise that I can rely on myself more. And it's also made me realise that sometimes I can't rely on myself. And that's where I can change. I think the greatest gift that we all have is that we can change. Sure, we've made maybe bad mistakes, not so good ones. Maybe we've said things to other people that were very hurtful. Or maybe we've not done the things that we wanted to do in the past. But it doesn't mean that we can't change now. And I think that is one of the greatest gifts that we have in life, is the ability to change and also adapt as well. Adapt to our current climate and environment. And not in a way to put up with it, but in a way to navigate through it and to find things that make us happy. And I think the most important part as well for me, which is why I don't have a backup plan, is because it allows me to think on my feet at the same time. It allows me to come up with ideas on the spot, and allows me to think of ways, think of ideas, think of things to just help me navigate again through the challenges that I may be facing at that moment in time. So I think that was one of the deciding factors for me. And I don't want this video to sound like a persuasion. It's certainly not. This is just my experience, and this is me explaining why I do what I do. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a backup plan. Again, do what works for you. I think for my younger self in the past, what I would change differently, which I do now obviously, is that I try not to copy what other people are doing. I can take some inspiration. I can take things that maybe have worked for them and try and see if they work for me. But not everything that they do is going to also work for me as well. And that's something that I have been mindful of for the past few years now. And it's still something that I'm learning to do. But I hope that this video could help you in any type of way. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you could please like this video, subscribe down below, and if you know anyone that may benefit from watching this, then I would very much appreciate it if you could please share this video to them. Thank you so much, and I will see everyone in the next one.